I just think people are very quick to judge other people
extremely quick because it's fitness. There's a huge double standard there when it comes to measuring out your food to get in shape or measuring out your food to bake fucking brownies. It's the same exact thing. You're measuring out food. At the end, you're doing the same exact thing. And sorry for my profanity, but
it's fine.
That's
so true. I didn't even realize that.
Mind blowing.
People make fun of you for measuring out your food
to get in shape.
But no one bats an eye when you're measuring out food to make brownies.
So I just got home from work. Completely forgot to film this morning. Completely. Like, I just got up, made my food, had coffee, and just completely spaced it. So, recap on the morning. Breakfast was the usual oats. Weighed in at 215.6 this morning. That is down from 215.8 yesterday, and then obviously 216.4 on Monday. So about a 0.8 pound drop so far this week. But I was 214 on Sunday, so I don't know if that's like a true drop or if that's, how to look at it. But again, just kind of focusing on other things, focusing on my strength, focusing on how I look and how I feel, and just going from there. So I did talk to Anthony, and he said he wants me to increase my cardio to 3 HIIT sessions a week of 15 minutes each. So I was previously doing 2 10-minute sessions just to kind of keep my cardio as minimal as possible. But I think I'm going to have to increase that a little bit and see how my body adjusts. So like I said, I just got home from work. I'm starving. I need to eat. And I'm not literally starving, but pretty hungry. So I got to eat, having a low-carb meal, and then heading to the gym. But before we go to the gym, we have a meeting at 3 for something I'm not going to really talk about, but we just have a meeting, and maybe I'll give you guys a little sneak peek into what the meeting is about, but probably not. I'll see you guys in the next clip. An hour later. I'm still not even done. The salad isn't too bad because it tastes pretty good. I have a couple hard-boiled eggs in here. I put a little bit of fat-free cheese and some of the Bolthouse dressing. But it takes so long to eat, like forever. It hasn't really been an hour, it's been like 15 minutes. And then with the braces, getting caught everywhere, and it's probably not pretty because I probably have
First world problems.
Probably have it everywhere. Yeah, first world problems for sure.
Okay.
I know it sounds weird, but
that's
the
Right.
name...
It'll be the same name?
Kind of.
Do you run with a tax ID number currently?
We have one, yeah.
So I kind of wanted to at least talk to you and see like where you're at, what you were looking to do, how much you were looking for, so that I could at least direct you in any other way that I possibly could.
So meeting was not as successful.
It was successful.
Not as successful as we had wanted, but we definitely walked away with more information than we went in with, which is good. So more research to be done on our part. I'm not telling you guys exactly what the meeting was for or why we were there. More to come from whatever that meeting was about. So on our way to the gym, catch you guys there. Trying to figure out how to bring something a little bit different to my normal footage. So I think what I decided to do is take you through my exercises as I do them. So not quite a commentary, not quite just straight workout footage, but a little mix of everything. So first exercise, I actually just finished it. What you're seeing on the screen right now is a low incline bench press. So with dumbbells, so the further up your incline goes, so the more steep that angle gets, the more shoulder you're going to involve. So obviously I want to involve my chest as much as possible while emphasizing more of the upper chest. Now you can't just work the upper chest, as you probably heard in the past, but you can help emphasize it. So keeping it a low incline, maybe 25, 30 degrees or so. Anything above 45 is really going to involve a lot of anterior delt, a lot of shoulder. So keep the angle fairly low, and as you see those last couple reps, I felt like I was gonna get through those 8 reps pretty easy. I slowed it down to make it harder. So you can always slow something down the last couple reps if you feel like it's going to be easy and you're going to get through it. Always get the most out of every set that you can. Moving on to a cable fly now. I like to do cable flies right after my dumbbell, my first primary movement, because obviously a fly gets a really good stretch in the chest. Now, the first movement that I'm doing is higher weight, lower rep, usually in that 6 to 8 rep range, higher weight. And so right after that, right after really stressing the muscle with a lot of load, I like to go with a wide range of motion and a good stretch to really kind of hit it with a 1-2 punch, and then move on to other stuff. So that's why I like doing the cable fly almost pretty early in my workout. Some people like to do it at the end. One tip with the cable fly is as you come forward, a lot of people come forward and they keep their arm bent. All right, what I like to see people do and what I prefer to do is come in, straighten the elbow, and actually turn the arm out just a little bit. All right, so this will contract the chest a little bit more and allow you to get a couple more inches out of that movement, because the chest brings your arm across your body. If you look at my humerus, the upper arm right here, this part, if your arm's bent, you're losing out on like 2 or 3 inches. So if you straighten it out and come forward, you're going to get a little bit more of a contraction out of it. So come forward, you can keep it bent, and then just straighten out and actually externally rotate. So bring that pinky forward and squeeze. I really think about squeezing that inner chest. All right, again, you can't isolate the inner chest, but you can kind of focus on squeezing in that area and really get a full contraction. Basically, the more you contract, the more full of a chest development you'll get. First bicep movement, and before you started, the reason I pair biceps with chest and triceps with back is simply because at the end of my chest work, my triceps are already halfway toast anyway, and so in order to get the most out of my workout, I like to pair biceps with chest, so that way my biceps are more fresh than they are when I do back, and vice versa when I train back. You know, when I train back, your biceps get a little tired, so I like to do triceps during my back day. Just something I've been incorporating for a while. Seems to be working out. So the low pulley rope curl, put your hand in a partially supinated position, meaning partially palms up. So supination is going from palms down to palms up. All right. So it puts it in kind of a half position, like a hammer curl, which is going to emphasize the forearm or the brachioradialis a little more. And developing your brachioradialis or your forearm is essential in making the rest of your arm look fairly big, just like Popeye. You know, he had huge forearms. It's going to make the rest of his arms look fairly big, even if they're not. So I like to incorporate one of those partially supinated or fully supinated, like a reverse curl. I like to incorporate those into my workouts, at least one of those types of movements each of my bicep day. And the last movement I'm probably going to videotape for today is a wide grip, low pulley bicep curl. Now, the wide grip, I think I've mentioned this once before, is going to emphasize more of the inside of the bicep. All right, so again, with any exercise, you cannot isolate one specific muscle. Like you have 2 biceps. With a wide grip, it's going to emphasize more of the short. So with your bicep, you have 2 heads. You can emphasize one over the other, but you can't isolate. So with the wide grip, it's going to emphasize more of the inside head, or the one that's going to give you width. And a close grip, say you're gripping in close, it's going to emphasize more of the outside. So keep that in mind when you're doing exercises, that you can emphasize one over the other, but you can't isolate, and it can help bring up a specific area if you feel like you're lacking. But again, it can't isolate that specific muscle on its own. Just finished up my 15 minutes of sprints on the treadmill that I'm sitting on right here. About to have my post-workout meal, and I'm switching it up today. So today I'm going with a fluff and honey sandwich on P28 bread. So I don't know if you guys have heard of P28 before, but there is 28 grams of protein for both of these slices, so 14 grams each. it's really good bread. It's not like a chalky bread. It's not like a disgusting like protein bread. It's actually really, really good. It's soft. And so if you guys haven't heard of it, you should definitely check them out. They also have like peanut butters and nut butters that are actually really good, high in protein, obviously high in fat because they're a nut butter, but I have the white chocolate at home and it is fantastic. So switching it up today from the usual rice cakes, I just wanted to get a little bit more protein in the actual meal. I also have some whey that I'm going to mix up for the ride home. So I'm going to eat this. I'll catch you guys in a second. So we just got home and I wanted to end the vlog right here, but before I do, I just wanted to talk about something that's kind of been on my mind kind of ever since I started this prep, you know, a week or so ago. And I don't know how to start this talk, and she doesn't know exactly
I have no idea
what I'm talking about, but I wanted to have her here just in case she wanted to put in any input or anything like that. But there's something about competing that gets blown out of proportion when compared to anything else in the world, and that might not make sense right now, but I'll get there. On a day-to-day basis, I question myself, why am I doing this? You know, what am I doing this for? You know, my family cooks all of the best food. There's Rice Krispies sitting on the counter right now, and we can't have them. You know, we force ourselves not to have them. On top of tons of other food and other situations that we pull ourselves away from in order to compete. And a lot of people question that, and a lot of people ask us, well, why do you put yourself in that situation? Why are you starving yourself to get on stage and be validated by all these people? And for most of us, it has nothing to do with that. For most of us, it has to do with pushing ourselves to do something we've never done before. I've never done this before. This is Yami's first year competing. People have been doing it for years, and 90% of the time, it's not about anybody else. It's about them. It's about fulfilling something that they want to do.
Getting a step further.
That shouldn't be questioned by anybody, really. And the reason I say that is because if you think about somebody running a marathon, when somebody tells you they're going to run a marathon, how do you react? Chances are you're like, okay, that's awesome, good for you. You don't ever question it. But when somebody tells you they're competing, and maybe not you, but say somebody who's outside of it, and they're like, okay, I'm competing, but I'm doing this, and this to get there, and like, why are you doing that? Why are you putting yourself through that? You know, depriving yourself of food and starving yourself. You know, it's, for me, they're hand in hand. They're neck and neck. Training for a marathon takes hours and hours and hours of training and recovery, and the people around you are going to suffer a little bit.
Running.
Yeah, running. That's even. I think marathon training is worse than physique prep.
Yeah.
And you know, your surroundings, your environment, and your family and your friends need to understand exactly what you're training for. You know, you're gone for hours at a time on these runs, and you got to make sure you're recovering properly. But when somebody says they're running a marathon, nobody bats an eye. Nobody questions it whatsoever.
Or a major league sport, or
puts in the time to do something they want to do. But when it comes to competing, everybody's all up in arms because it's so controversial.
like the Olympics, like all these athletes that are in the Olympics right now, I'm pretty sure that nobody batted an eye because there are these athletes training for the Olympics. But
it's the same when it comes down to it. It's the same exact thing.
Yeah.
You know, you're putting in hours and you're putting in the dedication
for something that you love, ultimately.
For something you want to do.
Or maybe you don't love it. Maybe you're just trying to see if you do love it.
Me.
Like I'm not trying to get to the Olympia right now. I'm not trying to, like, I have other interests. This is just something that I enjoy doing right now. You know, I was a dancer. I love dancing. Dancing is what I love. Mm-hmm. But this I enjoy doing right now, and like he said, he's dipping his feet into it right now, seeing if he likes it. You know, it's okay to try new things, see if you like it, and I just think people are very quick to judge other people
extremely quick because it's fitness. There's a huge double standard there when it comes to measuring out your food to get in shape or measuring out your food to bake fucking brownies. It's the same exact thing. You're measuring out food. At the end, you're doing the same exact thing. And sorry for my profanity.
No,
but
it's fine.
It's
That's so true. I didn't even realize that.
Mind blowing.
People make fun of you for measuring out your food
To get in shape.
But no one bats an eye when you're measuring out food to make brownies.
What sense does that make?
That's awesome.
And so, I just don't understand the double standard. Obviously, we question ourselves, you know, sometimes.
All the time.
When we have to go to the gym when we're tired, like, why do we do it? It runs across our mind. It runs across everybody's mind who competes.
Yeah.
You know, why am I doing this? And for me, and I'm pretty sure for Yami as well, it's just something that we want to do, and nobody else should question that whatsoever. Now, there are the small percentage of people that do it because they're vain, because they want validation from other people, but
or they want to look good. Like, there are some people that needed a goal to look better, and whatever.
That's still fine.
That's fine.
If you need to prep or you need to do something in order to make yourself feel better about your body, then so be it. You know, that's still an intrinsic motivation. It's not an extrinsic. It's not about a trophy, or it's not about having somebody pat you on the back. You know, for us, we just want to do it because we want to challenge ourselves. We want to put ourselves in a position to achieve something we've never achieved before. And now, granted, obviously we want to do well, and it would be great to, you know, get up on stage and win a trophy. And obviously, it's kind of everybody, as a human being, you want to feel that satisfaction. But that's not the core of why we're doing this, you know. So it's just something that kind of crosses my mind, and the more I think about it, the more I'm like, what the fuck? Like, why are people questioning why people compete? There should be no reason for it.
Because people just want to talk shit all the time.
Like, oh, and then they start talking about other factors, like, oh, she looked better before this, or like, you know, she shouldn't have lost all the weight because she looked better. Whatever, it doesn't matter. We're doing this because we want to do it.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, that's it. And
at the end of the day, do you, and that's it.
That's it.
Like,
do what makes you happy. Live and let live. Really.
Exactly. That's
we're getting to do that. We're trying to get in that mentality more and more about just, you know, do you. You know, stop focusing on other people and focus on yourself, and stop worrying about what everybody else is doing. Yeah. And so I don't know where that came from. I was just thinking about that kind of this morning as I saw Rice Krispies on the counter, and
you're like, why can I not just eat it?
Just temptation everywhere, and it was just one of these things that kind of transformed into another talk. And so, you know, is just something that we should be more aware of, about not holding a double standard to the physique, you know, in the fitness community. Really, when it comes to fitness, there are a lot of touchy subjects that shouldn't be touchy subjects, I believe.
At the end of the day, just do what makes you happy, let other people do what makes them happy, and that's it. Like,
that's it.
Stay in your own lane.
For real.
That's it.
So that's it, guys. Please comment below with anything you have to say, any input. Share this with your friends. I'm going to end this vlog right here. I'm not going to say anything else, but I'm going to show you, because I'm just going in, I'm going to have dinner. You guys have seen dinner a handful of times already. So I'm going to show you guys what I weigh in at tomorrow morning. So stay tuned for that. And thank you guys so much for watching. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe by hitting the little box below this video. And yeah, thanks guys. I'll catch you in the next one.
Bye.
$214.6. That's 1 pound down from yesterday. So happy with that weigh-in. But we'll see what the rest of the week holds. Hopefully I can hit underneath 214 by the end of the week. I am heading back to my old gym to retest my body fat with the calipers and both the in-body, so we'll get some good comparisons. I'll be doing them probably every 2 weeks, so stay tuned for that. That's going to do it for this vlog, guys. Thanks so much for watching again, and I'll see you in the next one.